Old Redditors, what's a must-know story of Reddit new users should know? Get a carbon monoxide detector. When a Redditor asked for help because the language on their screen changed to Spanish. And everyone replied to it in Spanish. Then Ops update was hilarious. Update so I wake up this morning to about 1500 replies in my inbox that I cannot read. And then I run them through Google Translator and most of them say stuff like, the dog is in my pants, and where is the library, thanks, Reddit. The lady that owned a wedding cake store and secretly only used boxed cake mix from the grocery in all her cakes. IRC she said she hated making cakes, but loved decorating them and everyone seemed to like the cakes anyway. She still updates the post last I checked. If you find an old safe in your house, you must get into it and show us. At all cost. A sense of pride and accomplishment. It is the most downvoted comment of all time, and it was made by an AA representative. If there's ever a bombing attack, don't assume Reddit will solve the case. The guy who tried heroin, I think, and documented his journey from non-addict to recovery. There's also the post-it note guy who kept finding post-its in his apartment. Edit. Kind people in replies of this comment might have linked. Kevin. The guy who pretended he didn't know what a potato was. I am disappointed that no one mentioned the really big sub sandwich story. It was an Am I the Arsehole post about a guy who brought a very large sub to a party, wedding, or some shit, ate the whole thing, everyone went TF off on him. It was one of my favorites, but I just searched for it and couldn't find its sad face. The saga of creepshots and how a student recognized his substitute teacher posting upskirts of teenaged classmates. Kevin. The student that never stood a chance. The what's the worst thing someone has said you during sex? Talk dirty to me attempt. Edit. Typo. The time James Corden did a Reddit armor and just got blasted in the comments for literal hours. How to take care of your son when he's broke both of his arms. Poop knife. We all want that guy's wife. Edit. Yes. Dead wife. There was this girl from the Solomon Islands. Used to live in a tiny village or settlement, on a small island there. Used to get around on canoes, and live in primitive little self-made huts. She'd sometimes go to Brisbane, where I think she had studied or visited a while. She just showed all of us what island life was like, removed from modern conveniences of restaurants, supermarkets, cars and stress. I loved seeing her photos and reading about her life there. Does anyone else remember this girl from the Solomon Islands? The guy who got drunk and did an armor asking himself his own questions in the comments then answering them himself. Swamps of Dagobah. Edit. Thanks for the shinies, glad we're all suffering together. I'd say, test post, please ignore. I'm a very old Redditor. This isn't my first account, and I remember this post fondly. At the time it had 10k upvotes I think, and back then that was unheard of. It wasn't that long ago, but when Rick got rickrolled. The guy who wanted to leave his wife who posted to our relationship advice, but was worried about how she'd react. Reddit told him to stop being a pussy, so he told her it was over, then she killed both their kids. The coconut. The guy who dreamed an entire life and a lamp ruined it all. Not really a story, but an epic comment thread nonetheless. How did you take that picture? It's not that old, but the story of how Ellen Pao was head of Reddit and lost her job in 2015. That was the time period when Reddit went from mostly free-range community to business-curated social media outlet. A lot of people see that 2014 into 2016 timeframe as the death of old Reddit. I can't believe everyone forgot about MTG Butts guy. That was the highest upvoted post on Reddit for a while. EDIIT, here ya go. That in 1998 The Undertaker threw mankind off HELL in a cell, and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. Today you, tomorrow me. Oh, and swamps of Dagobah. Trees and marijuana enthusiasts are swapped. If you have a question about your oak tree, trees will tell you how to smoke it, while marijuana enthusiasts will tell you how to nurture it. It is completely worth being subbed to both, just for the crossover posts. My favorite was the guy throwing his steak at the window and getting caught by his wife's boss, and then the wife followed up with a post of her own. Another one I've never been able to find was a guy who was drunk, high, and he yelled out of his window, "Happy fucking birthday." Really aggressively, and scared her. The comment underneath said, "Bake her a cake to say sorry." The comment underneath said, "Write on it, I'm really fucking sorry." I was crying laughing at that one, and I've never been able to find it since. Sorry, I don't know how to link. The guy who'd comment on stuff, but it would always end with his dad beating the shit out of him with a tire iron. He had like 50 comments on various topics, but it always ended the same. Didn't see Uneiden or jackdaws mentioned yet. Here's the thing. Banana for scale started here. The post was some kid who found a secret room in his bedroom and didn't have anything to measure the size of the secret door except a banana. I don't even remember how long ago that was. I don't know if I could ever find that post. Don't ask what color is it. The upvote button. The narwhal bacons at midnight. Edit. It was coined by a commenter in a thread by the user Sidra, a well-known Redditor that was later the target of a pretty serious, unrelated, witch hunt. It was the first site-wide Reddit drama I experienced back in the day. For those interested in a lot of things mentioned in these threads, our Museum of Reddit has quite the catalog. Jolly Rancher. Jabba the Slut. 5/10 with rice. Story of the laziest guy ever. The Cumbox. Jolly Rancher Vagina. Guy took an incredible amount of edibles and wrote a post just before a long flight. The whole trees community was very worried. Someone's mom was way too nice to them when they broke both their arms. Ruby Rod farts on a kid in Target. Still makes me laugh like no other. Fuck Jenny. The guy whose very special brother loves this one specific Tonka truck from the 90s. It was a fire and rescue truck and his family finds them on eBay and buys him one every Christmas and it's the only thing B loves, and couldn't find one anywhere and came to Reddit to ask if anyone had one in an attic or old toy box. Everyone was so helpful and the post was just a beautiful internet moment. The Legend of Street Lamp La Mousse. Edit. And here is the link. A sense of pride and accomplishment. I'm surprised no one has said the putting Descartes before the horse reply. Here is the link. At 7/1000 upvotes 12 years ago, it was one of the highest upvoted comments at that time along with one of the most awarded. Can't remember the name, but a guy who nearly died from carbon monoxide poisoning but was saved by an Ask Reddit thread.